So I'm just going down on a bit of a reconnaissance mission. I've got my coffee just to see if any of the propellers or any of the parts have washed up on the shore to help give us a bit of evidence that it crashed. It's seriously beached for days. The drone itself was right out at sea, right out the back where it's dark. So I don't like our chances.
So we lost our drone on the Eyre Peninsula.
We didn't.
We did.
So in short, Steph has always been really conservative when it comes to using our drone, always using it over land, not very high. And I've always been like, Steph, you've got to get it out there. It's made to fly. Get it up. Let's get some of these great shots.
So I got it up.
She did get it up. In fact, so far up that I was out fishing in waist deep water. And I looked up and
nice.
I see it up there and I go, wow, that's pretty high. And wow, that's pretty far out in the water. But I thought, that's great.
It was doing what a drone's meant to do.
It's great. And then sure enough, I cast my line out. I had a look out in the water and there was this massive splash. And I thought, what's that? And I thought at first it was a dolphin. Then all of a sudden I realised that it was up above. It was no longer a drone. And it was deep, deep below the water. We lost our drone in the Eyre Peninsula and the bottom of Fitzgerald Bay. Well, I've had about half an hour of walking up and down the beach here now, and I think it's time to give up the search. Unfortunately, it's lost at sea. It's somewhere out there in the deep. You know, when you think about it, when they finish with ships, they usually sink them at sea to provide marine environments for animals. And deep down, I can feel happy that there's some little hermit crab out there with the best gosh darn drone back it's ever had. Maybe the odd sea snail. Surely deep down I feel good about that.
Speaking of shipwrecks, just up the road from where we were staying is the HMAS Whyalla. They do tours there of the HMAS Whyalla, this ship, so we went along to check out what it was all about. We've just come to the Whyalla Tourist Information Centre, and they've got the old Navy ship here as well that we're going to go and have a tour through. Tours are at 11:30 and 1:30. We've locked it and come at about 20 past 11, so we were good timing.
So her job during the war mainly was to look for mines in the water. So she was a mine sweeper. Kites was a cutting wire. So that would cut the mooring line of the mine, which would then float to the surface. 85 men was standard crew, up to 150 if they were carrying troops. No, after the war, sorry. In 1947, she was purchased by the Victorian Works Department. So they renamed her actually the RIP. So when you see reference to RIP, it doesn't mean rest in peace. She was very fortunate throughout her wartime to have no recorded deaths on her. She was named after the RIP.
Is it heavy?
So it's the narrow end.
Where are you taking this
at? Bay itself. So she was known as the RIP for nearly 40 years. We're going to scrap her in the 80s, and we said we would love to have her back before they did that. We paid $5,000 for her. Bit of a bargain.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So we're heading into the Whyalla Maritime Museum after checking out the HMAS Whyalla. Quite a big, wow, that is a snapper. Yeah, dried. It's a ripper. This is quite big, isn't it?
This is a huge model railway. You can go around both sides of it. It's a model of the mining area around Whyalla.
There goes the gun. Up north. See ya. We've just finished looking through the museum and we've learned all about Flinders and Freycinet, who both explored in 1802, 1803, and now we're going for a walk around to the waterfront. Being on the Eyre Peninsula, waterfront is literally everywhere, and we couldn't wait to get down and check out the full coastline of the Eyre Peninsula.
We've been talking about the Eyre Peninsula for a little while. We keep hearing stacks about the area, about how great the fishing is and the swimming. So we're finally on our way down here. It's a very long road. We've already got a very long road behind us. It's a long way down the Eyre Peninsula.
Long way.
So we're heading down, but we can finally see the sand dunes. We can see some ocean to our left and just ahead of us. So we're not too far away. Looking forward to camping and some swimming over the next few days.
Fishing too.
And fishing. We're heading down Lipson Cove Road, down to Lipson Cove Campground. It's a pretty bumpy ride. It said changing conditions the whole way down, so I hope it's worth it. Hope it's good fishing, hope it's good swimming. Just come across a stumpy back lizard just wandering along the road here. So we avoided him on the road obviously, and we've come out to say hello. Hello buddy. Pretty cool water.
Was that an island?
No, there's an island just off the shore here. Yeah, that was worth the road.
It's a pretty good view. Pretty good colour water. That's the campground down there, I reckon, and it's pretty empty. I can't see anyone.
How's this for a campsite? We are down at Lipson Cove and we've basically got it to ourselves. There's a swag all the way down the end and right in front of us we've got the cove. You can see the island out there full of seabirds and I'm hoping there's fish in these waters. The boys are down there checking it all out. We've got bins and there's also a toilet just down here really close. This place, we plan on staying a couple of nights already. We're talking about 3 at least. It is beautiful.
We're free camping at the moment and it's been very overcast this morning, so the solar panels on the top are just playing catch up at the moment, so we're giving them a bit of a boost with our Red Arc solar blanket here.
So we've got a 190 watt solar blanket. Up on the top we've got about 320 watts of solar, but sometimes we need to lay this out to give us a real boost to our batteries. We're still quite a way off being fully charged, so pop it out and we'll be full up by the end of the night. This is our base camp down here at Lipson Cove. So taking the car down, pretty easy beach entry, just lower the tyre pressures down. And you can see up here, there's a couple of caravans, we're up the top. So it's just a short walk down. But we thought we'd drive down so we could use our shade shelter and bring all the fishing gear and everything for a great day out on the beach, which the boys are taking full advantage of. I reckon I found my happy place. Pretty awesome.
How good is this? We got the beach to ourselves.
In the background there's a couple of dolphins swimming around. Hopefully they've chased the fish in for Justin and the boys.
Keep going, reeling. Harry might have something here. You think it might be a fish? Does it feel like a fish?
Yeah.
Keep reeling it in. Harry's got the daily double. He's brought in a little fish and he's brought in a crab. Harry, give us a thumbs up. We had a great few days fishing at Lipson Cove. We ended up with a couple of Australian salmon, a couple of tommies, even a whiting as well. We had to send that one back, but the other fish were all the size and were able to have a good feed straight from the beach.
Lipson Cove is absolutely stunning. It's a brilliant place to stay, so make sure you check it out next time you're in the area. It's also really close to Tumbu Bay, so we headed in to check out the jetty and to have a go at fishing in there too. We're just coming into Tumbu Bay. Down on the Tumbu Bay jetty today for some fishing. The boys having a go at some squidding. This is an awesome jetty. Look how wide it is down here. Heaps of spots for fishing. And it's even got a big seat in the middle here. That's good for mum. The boys have got lots of room to have a go and hopefully catch some dinner today, hey?
So we just got the burley bucket and we didn't put the crab net down. We connected a little burley up with some bait onto the other end, put it down there, and we just put it down and it's already attracting fish, and we're going to put a few fish lines down there to see if those fish comes by ours, so we can catch some. And that's the attraction, so they can smell it.
Clever plan?
Yep.
Despite Harry's grand plans, we got undone, plans got made undone by some bigger fish. In fact, a team of about 10 or 15 different scuba divers who all wandered down the jetty, jumped in the water and started swimming around looking for sea dragons.
There was no hope for fishing that day.
Nothing at all, so we had to come up with something else to do. The fish aren't biting, so it's fish and chips and a fish and chip shop for lunch. We're at Tumbu Bay jetty. I don't like our chances of catching anything. There's a bunch of scuba divers cutting laps underneath us, so can't see us catching anything today.
With lunch all sorted and limited fishing opportunity, we decided to head around Tumbu Bay and check out the street art.
Tumbu Bay have a heap of artwork all around different street areas, and the one you can see as you come into town is the silos. So we're just walking in to check it out right now, have a look at it, maybe a good photo opportunity. And they've set it up really well. There's parking, there's signs, just shows you from nothing they've created like a tourist destination. The artwork was really impressive, and with Tumbu Bay being so close to Lipson Cove, we're able just able to pop up there and then head straight back to camp. How's the view here from our campsite at Lipson Cove? It's just farmland behind us. Beach at the front, farmland behind. Awesome. Just getting some of the afternoon rays here from the back of the car. So the sun's setting over the west, obviously. Behind us, the car I've set up to get some solar on it. So we've got one on the roof, and we've also got our solar blanket as well, so doing the job for us. We have had a great stay here at Lipson Cove. It has been magnificent. The only downside is there's little black ants everywhere, which meant we couldn't really sit outside, but they're not down at the beach, so we spent most of our time down at the beach or up in the van. There's a great afternoon breeze. The sun's been great. A little overcast today. We've had to have the solar blankets out working overtime. But wow, what a place. This is, I nearly want to go out on a limb and say this is the best spot we've been so far. It's right up there. I think Innes was great, but Rapid Bay was great, but I think this just might have it. It's been awesome.
We were really sad to leave, but after 4 days at Lipson Cove, it was time to move on, so we packed up and headed down south towards the bottom of the Eyre Peninsula. Alright, so we're here at Port Lincoln, and the boys are super keen to go for a fish. There's a jetty right out front of where we're camping. It's like a 50-metre walk, so we're just heading down there now, try our luck for a bit of squid. We've had a pretty good track record. We're getting pretty good, aren't we, boys?
Yeah.
So we're going to go see how we go. It looks pretty good. So here it is, here's the jetty. Looks pretty good. Good nick. Nice little one, and see how we go. Just enjoying the view out from our caravan. It is a great spot. It's been a little bit cooler. We've been down to the jetty, caught some squid today, which is fantastic. So we've cooked that up for dinner. The boys are just getting ready for bed, and Steph and I are out here enjoying a drink. Got the blanket on. A little bit chilly, not what we used to, but how's that for a vista? There's the playground, and there's a swimming area and the jetty on the right. Port Lincoln's tourist park was a great place for us to stay. We even got to meet some other travelling families for the first time. It's amazing how many different ways you can go around Australia. Figure eights, infinities, clockwise, anti-clockwise. So some are going different ways, but hopefully we'll catch up with some of the people that we meet on our journeys again at different points throughout our year of travel around Australia. We also were able to pick up a few skills too, particularly some new ones for me and the boys. We're down here in the beach and we're collecting fresh bait. So we've met Eddie and Karen, the daughter Alyssa, and they've got a pump. They're from Victoria like us over in Phillip Island, and we're down here pumping for bait. The boys have got really good at finding bait, so we might be able to save some money going forward without having to buy any.
Got a little nipper here.
What are we going to fish for with that?
Fish.
Yeah, go for some whiting or something? How do you get them, Harry?
You just get one of those pumps, put them into the ground, and then skip, and then put it up, and then you get them.
And there's a worm we've pumped out as well, so we might have to get ourselves one of these pumps. We were in and out of Port Lincoln for supplies. This was our last major stop before we headed up and across the Nullarbor. First major big town before heading west. That we'd seen for a little while too. We even bumped into an old friend of ours. And this is the Pacific Jewel that's come in here for the day. They regularly have cruise ships visit, and we happened to go on the Pacific Jewel a couple of years ago. So it's pretty cool to come in here and see the ship that we went on and reminisce. And now we're here with our car, and there's the ship over there that we went on just a couple of years ago, so that's pretty cool. And there's a swimming area just in front of it too. If you want to come and swim down on the foreshore in Port Lincoln, there's a shark net swim area there, so it's a beautiful little area here. Lots of nice shops too. After stocking up, it was back on the road. We have a bit of a drive today, one of our longest ones yet actually. We're heading from Port Lincoln up to Perlubie Beach, which apparently is a gorgeous beach. We've been on the road for a few hours now. We brought a few snacks with us in the car, didn't we guys? Had some apples this morning. Now we've got some popcorn to keep us going. We'll have some lunch when we get there. We had a super time in Port Lincoln. It was a big place, and in terms of shopping, it had everything that you could need to stock up along the way, so a really good spot to go to before you head across the Nullarbor, which is our plan for next week. Bring along, and we needed some fuel, and we see this self-serve diesel truck stop. It's $1.38 for fuel, and over the road there's actually a servo and $1.46 for diesel. You can see the sign up there, $1.38. Across the road, $1.46. We've done a few truck stops now for diesel, and tell you what, it's worth it. You just need, the trick is to prepay on their machine. So come in, put in an amount, you can add extra to it later if you want to, and there you go. Right, save a bit of money. That makes sense. So we've stocked up with about 3 weeks of food now from Woolworths,
There was heaps of shops there, even a Bunnings, Mitre 10, a Harvey Norman. We managed to replace something at Harvey Norman that we'd lost previously. If you were watching, you will see that we lost our drone in the ocean down the east-hand side of the Eyre Peninsula. So we've managed to replace that. We'll make a little bit of a video about opening up our new drone and how we got that one. So we managed to get one luckily at Harvey Norman. Otherwise it would have been a wait till over in Western Australia rather, and we would have missed out on all of those great opportunities to use the drone. This is the road down into Perlubie Beach. We're hoping we can get a spot to camp down here.
Yeah, but it's okay.
The beach looks beautiful. Look at that beautiful water out there. Who wants to swim, boys? At Perlubie Beach, there are shelters along the beach that you can use for camping. They're magnificent, but it turns out that you can't use all of them for camping.
Pretty poorly signed. We ended up in the wrong spot and we ended up in a bit of trouble.
We're at Perlubie Beach and we're pulled up at this shelter, and then apparently the sign means that we're not allowed to camp here overnight. So we've gone to get out and got ourselves stuck. So I've just dug out that tyre there. That one's not too bad. I'll go around the other side here. Just lowering the pressures down.
Just taking it down.
This one's got itself dug in there, so hopefully the Max trucks can get us out and we'll try to find somewhere else to camp.
We had never used our Max Tracks before. I actually had to undo the cable ties connecting the two together and take off a sticker. That's
it was an experiment.
Turns out they worked. We got out, which was fantastic.
There were no other spare shelters available for camping, so we headed down the other end of the beach.
Well, we made it to Perlubie. We've got a spot here on the beach. We've missed out on a shelter, but a couple of people come up to us and said they're leaving in a day or two, so they're going to hand it over to us. For now, we're going to just enjoy being this close to the water. We've turned the van door around just to allow us to not have the wind pouring in through the door when we open it with all the sand, so we've got a bit of wind protection. So see if that works. Apparently that's the way to go. So should be a good 4 or 5 days.
That's a good spot.
He ended up bringing in reinforcements. Turns out we don't need to buy bait anymore.
A little slipper and a worm, and I was just looking in. I went there and I was like, ooh, and then I didn't actually get him. I just need a bit further down, I'll get him.
How is this for a view out our windows while I sit and have some dinner in peace? The boys are thrilled. They've actually found some kids around their age for the first time in weeks, so they're absolutely having a ball out there playing in the sand with these kids. They've been out there a couple of hours now, so I've just chopped up some salad ready for when they come in, and they can have a cold chicken with salad for dinner. I've got my salad roll. That's not a bad way to end the evening. The next day, Where To Next in Oz popped down to let us know that they were heading off and we could come in and take their spot, which was amazing. It was just in time for the boys to kick off their schoolwork.
It's a pretty good classroom.
Hey, I'll take this any day. Hey, Mrs. Kirby, would you like this one for our outdoor space?
Yeah, it's not too bad here. So, out for a fish. Tide's coming in, so you can see all the way back there's our setup, and I've just weighed it out up to my waist. Bit of a fish. We caught an Australian salmon yesterday. It was a little bit little, so I let it go. But there's a bit of fish around. Someone just caught a flathead. So there we go. Whilst I was out having a bit of a fish, I ended up scoring a ride on Catchagon's tinny. I was invited out to go for a fish and ended up with a couple of fish for dinner.
Might be having fish for dinner.
We've just been out fishing and we've got a nice sized whiting here and a couple of little tommies.
2 little tommies.
So we're going to cook them up for dinner tonight. So we've just been out with Catch a Gone on their little tinny. It's awesome.
We ended up spending a great few nights with the Roving Russos and Catch a Gone. Between us we had 7 kids and they had a ball together playing all day. We had fun together. It was an awesome setup. The boys ended up getting to go out for a final bit of fun on donuts behind the tinny. See you, Haz. Good luck, mate. If I don't see you again, it's been a blast. Away from where you're going. Alright, we're on board with Catch a Gone on the boat, taking the boys out on the donut. What could go wrong?
I just went on a donut, and the first time he went just mediumly fast, and then the second time he went extremely fast, and me and Jet were going so fast.
Was it good?
Yep.
The boys were extremely lucky and so were we.
The scenery was stunning. It was just beautiful. There was even flashing toilets.
I caught some seafood for dinner. We had good company. We were literally pinching ourselves. Are we in Australia or are we in Fiji,
I'm
Steph?
not sure. Could be either.
It's not a bad little work office. So this is Perlubie Beach and they've got these little huts. And if you're lucky you can get here and use them. There's also day use ones and it's just a great spot to spend the day, a great base away from your caravan. It's been quite hot today, 41, but sitting under here the breeze is flowing through. We've had a bit of a fish. It's awesome weather and just a really great spot on your way to or from the Nullarbor.
It even got better at sunset time with the sunset over the water.
It was takeoff time.
Here we go, the first flight. It just asked if we're sure we want to take off. We weren't quite sure, but we are. The sunsets were absolutely beautiful.
The combination of the tide going out, the sun going down over the water, it just made for amazing sunsets that we will never forget.